Annyeonghaseyo. Bienvenidos a este su podcast, KCHILLIE. Okay, so first of all, we need to change our language. I know, I started in Spanish, now I'm in English. It's just that our special guest today, she's from another part of the world, so I need to change the language. So anyways, you know that Google settings and subtitles will be nice. So I'm really nervous, guys. This is the second episode I do in English, so maybe I will do English, Korean, Spanglish, something mix there. But yeah, after that, let's make applause for our special guest, Stella Williams.
Yay!
So nice to have you here.
Yes, glad to be here.
I'm so excited because it's a new platform for all the artists in any ways, actors, singers, tattoo artists, whatever. And she's the first dancer that trusts us here. Yeah. So, anyways, can you introduce yourself to the people?
Hello, I'm Taylor Williams. I am 25 years old from Houston, Texas in the United States. I'm just here visiting right now. I've been to Korea before. Came for a dance trip, teaching and training. So lots of stuff's been happening the last couple of weeks, yeah.
Okay, nice. So, but before that, you know here we like to rewind, rebobinar here. So we want to know from where you say Houston, we're neighbors.
Yes, yes we are.
I'm from Coahuila. Like,
okay.
Texas is down my state.
Yeah.
So we're neighbors.
Oh, nice.
So before being a dancer, how was your life in Texas and Houston? Have you always lived there?
Yes, Houston, born and raised. I went to college in Austin, Texas, the University of Texas. I actually minored in Korean while I was in school. Yeah,
wow.
I was a biochemistry major, but I minored in Korean language and cultures.
Okay.
So during my third year, I actually studied abroad here in Seoul. This was after that crazy time in our lives where we couldn't go anywhere for a long time. I came here, studied at Korea University, Korean language and pop culture. And while I was here, I actually didn't dance before coming to Korea. I played sports my whole life.
What?
I ran track and played volleyball.
No way.
Even when I went to college. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so that was in 2021. I came here, took my first ever dance class at 1 Million Dance Studio. My first ever one, and it wasn't even in English. So I had no idea what was going on. I had been to like some free workshops at school, but I wasn't like in dancing yet. I hadn't figured out that I actually really liked it. So I was here for 5 months. Summer semester, stayed a little bit after before going back to Texas, and that's when that whole summer I was taking all these dance classes, 1 Million, Just Jerk. And I figured out that I really liked it, and I was pretty good at it. So then when I went back home, I decided to join all these dance teams at my university. Did a year of that, and then when I was about to graduate and I was going back home to Houston, there is a dance studio called So Real Dance Studio.
Okay.
A lot of people know about it in the U.S. So I just decided for fun, audition for one of their teams.
Just for fun.
Just for fun. My friends were like, oh yeah, you've never been there? Like, just go see how it is. And so I went and I made it. And so my last year of school, I was traveling back and forth between Houston and Austin, was on like 4 dance teams, was trying to finish school.
Also too.
The whole thing was crazy time. I was going back and forth so much, and then once I graduated, I came back to Seoul for graduation present to myself, just to come back and train again with all the choreographers I had met the last year. And so got to see them again, got to dance with them again. I was here for maybe a month and a half, and then went back to Houston, went back to my studio. started teaching regular classes, started directing the teams, and we just did World of Dance Houston last month. We won first place. So yes, my first time directing a big team competition thing, and just that whole thing was crazy in itself, but winning the first time do something, it was a lot to live up to. So Reels won World of Dance like 12 times. So having to live up to that as a new person is a lot. It's very stressful, and I told myself if I get through that, I would come back to my favorite place, which is here.
Here, of course.
And treat myself to more training and connecting and all that good stuff.
Guys, I'm surprised. Like 5 minutes ago, we just met. Like seriously, that's why my face is like, what? So you're telling me that before that you were an athlete? Like
yes,
the dancing thing was not on your
athlete only.
Like what you started when you were in elementary? Yeah,
I started running track when I was 7.
Oh, okay.
7 to 14. So when I got to high school, I was like, okay, I'm done with that. I don't want to do that anymore. And so my parents were like, oh, we'll just pick something else that you want to do. And I was like, oh, well, I've never played volleyball before. So then 14 to when I was in college, so like maybe 20, I was playing volleyball. I still play now for fun. But then once I got to college, I was like, oh, well, it's time to try new things. Like, I want to see, like, what else there is besides dancing is a sport, but besides, the regular sports, like, what can I do that's different? And a lot of the friends that I was making were really into dance. They were really into K-pop and K-pop choreography and stuff. So one of the first dance teams I joined at UT was a K-pop choreography club. So we only danced like covers or made original choreography to Korean songs, which is also like where my love for Korean culture started, like really blossoming. Yeah, and then I was studying Korean, so then I was like, well, might as well study abroad over there. It makes sense. And then getting to experience stuff where it came from, K-culture, K-music, K-fashion, K-beauty, all that stuff here, and I could take that back home with me, like made my love for not just Korean culture, but dancing, because this is where it started for me. It was like epiphany moment. I knew that's something that I wanted to keep doing.
I swear to God, I'm like, wow, because I was like, if you haven't seen, go to her Instagram, and I was seeing his dance videos. I was like, oh wow, she danced so well, and I was like, basically I think most of the dancers are like starting with ballet when they were like 5, 6 years old, something like that. So I was like thinking that, not like 5 years ago I just started. It's like what? So it's so crazy. Like, your parents have always have that support of your parents on the athletic thing. Now that you have the dancing, what did it tell you? Do you have any siblings or something?
So I do have 2 older brothers. They both played. Yeah, they both played sports. Okay. So I'm the youngest. So obviously they're like, oh yeah, your brothers played sports. You're gonna play sports. It's gonna be a whole family thing, and I love playing sports. It's not that I wanted to just throw it away and do something else, but I did tell them that I felt like it was something that I enjoyed more than anything else, and I was really good at it, and I wanted to keep doing it. And they were just like, as long as, one, you enjoy what you're doing, but you have different avenues of being successful, so not putting all your eggs in one basket, not just focusing on dance, which is why I still finished school while I was still having my little part-time jobs to make some money to fund going to dance class and coming to Korea. So they've been really, really supportive. They come to all my performances and all the competitions.
That's so nice.
My mom comments on my Instagram every time I post something. So like,
that's my daughter.
All the time. Posts on Facebook, and I'm like, okay, So they're very supportive of it. They just wanted to make sure that I was still going to be successful if I decided to stop dancing, or if something happen to me,
yeah.
that I would have something to fall back on. That's
course.
all they really cared about.
I think all the parents, when they see like it's a artist or art thing to do, they're like, please have a plan B.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but please
Yeah.
have a plan B.
Yes, yes.
So I think that was very nice of your parents to support you.
Yeah, I do. I really, I tell them all the time, like, thank you for not being those parents that don't let your kids do what they want to do, or at least try it. And if they fail, they fail. It's a life experience. Like,
yeah, of course.
you'll learn from it, just move on. But I feel like when parents don't let their kids, like, try the things that they even just think that they like, it like hinders their growth, like, as a person. And I feel like they just want me to be very well-rounded as an individual. So school is important, but also all the artsy-fartsy stuff and like being creative is also like something that I think people need to have. And I think they wanted me to have that. So yeah, we were on the same page about
that's
it
good,
for the most part.
Yeah, because I know many of dancers and artists that they don't have that luck, and that's very good to you to have it.
Yeah.
That support team that they have your team like, yes, you can do
very
it.
grateful for them.
And your friends, what did they tell you? Like, they were like surprised as me, or they were like, oh, I knew you got it. Or
So when I started dancing, a lot of them were already into it. Like, either they had been dancing forever, or we were getting into it at the same time. Like, why not try it together, kind of thing. It's very like intimidating when you try new things by yourself.
Yeah, of course.
So having your friends try stuff with you is a little bit better. But I think no one realized that I would probably have such a natural like knack for dancing, because I was like, I've never I don't have any classical training,
but like in
never
prom or parties, 16, something.
I mean, yeah, like the social dances and stuff I could do, but like everybody knows, like TikTok dances and stuff, like everybody knows how to do that. But like choreography and remembering stuff and all the different styles of dance, like there's a lot that goes into it to like become really good at it. And I think my friends were kind of surprised how like well I was doing so fast. And then when I came to Korea and I went back, because obviously I was just studying abroad, they were like, you're like a different person now. And I was like, what? Like, I'm still the same like person I was, but it was just from getting like exposed out here to like all the choreographers that I've been watching on Instagram, to getting to actually be in the studios that I had heard about, and then going back and bringing those experiences to school and home. It was like I had a totally different style from everybody else. So then it was kind of like, oh, Taylor is like this person that we are like not even close to anyway. And I'm like, what? Like, that's not even... But I guess I see what they're saying in terms of my style is different than the people around me, which doesn't mean I'm better than them or they're not good. It's just different. So I feel like my friends will always point out that, oh, Taylor's like that's a totally different style. Like, she is her own thing over there. Wow. But I think it's because I came here more than once. So every time I come, I always learn something new. And I bring it back and I add it to what I do at home. And it becomes like this big thing with all my friends, like, oh my gosh, Taylor went back to Korea and came back as this new person.
She's half Korean now.
Yeah, they're always like, oh yeah. So I think they're very happy whenever I come back and have new things to like share with everybody. To share with the community. But they're funny. They always like, they always treat me like I'm this person that's up here, and I'm like, but I'm not. I'm just regular.
We're sharing everything here.
You're still my friend that you were last month. Like, it's all,
When you started, like, did you have like a certain fear of like, or I don't fear, how you can say? For example, for me, I started when I was 7 years old, but I have this thing of comparing myself to everybody. Do you have ever like that kind of fear or another fear in a way
So I used to, especially when I first started dancing. And like you said, a lot of people start from when they're 5, 6 years old with ballet and jazz and tap, and they can do all these things and they know the names of stuff and they're like, oh yeah, like and I'm
and
like, I have no idea what any of that is. So it was kind of intimidating for me to even go to class or learn next to people that I know have been dancing for a long time and I haven't. So it always made me push myself to be better. Like I had to catch up to them in a way shorter amount of time. So my learning curve was very steep, and it was always like I was always going to class or learning videos from YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, like trying to get better faster so that I could keep up with those people. But I think now, because I've gotten to a point where I've had a lot of really good training and a lot of really talented people to learn from, that I don't really, I tell my students this now because it's how I used to be, but we shouldn't look at others for comparison, but for inspiration. So like I still have to tell myself this all the time, but more actively trying to look at other choreographers, other dancers, my friends, the people that are just in class with me, not comparing myself to them like, oh, they're better than me or they can do this and I can't, but more like, oh, what they did is really awesome, nice, and I want to be able to do my own version of that. Like, be inspired by that person rather than being like, oh, I'll never be like that. More so, I can be like that. It's just about how I go about doing that. Yeah, so I'm not so afraid or have fear of anything anymore. I did when I first started, but I think...
Yeah, of course. I mean, I could imagine, like, still at my age, I'm still, like, every first class that I go is like, oh, God.
Yeah, and if it's a new style or a new teacher, a new studio, like, there's always that little bit of unsureness when I walk in. Like, I don't know how this is going to go, but I feel like once... like the music comes on and I just am learning and in class mode, like that all goes away. Yeah. And then by the end of class, I'm like, why was I even like afraid of anything? Like it's completely fine. Like this is a great experience to have. So like, I feel like I just tell myself that all the time now. That's to so keep from being like that.
And that's so nice that also you as a teacher also send that message. Like,
yeah,
I'm still on that process. It's okay to be that on that process too.
I think like people who still dance and teach people at the same time, because we are also still students, even though we are teaching other people. I think we're more relatable to the people that come take our class because we are in their shoes just as much as they are, and we understand how you feel and what it's like to be in the position that they're in class or rehearsal or just posting their stuff on social media. Like, I get it, and I want to give you like the tools to be better at those things while I'm also using those tools to be better myself. Yeah.
From all the styles that you have seen, which one is the one that you like, this is me, but maybe it's not on me, but this can be me, or which style?
So I would say I'm a hip-hop dancer. So we love hip-hop, but there's many different like little...
style of hip-hop too.
Yeah, there's so many, and I've kind of touched on a lot of them. I'm not well-versed in some that I would like to be, like light feet and house. I absolutely love watching people who know what they're doing with those things, and house music and light feet music. Any dance style that really originated or the people who started it are in New York is like what I want to be. Like that's what I want to be really good at, or try to learn from the people who started it, or learn from the people who are like the masters at it. But yeah, I would say my style is more street hip hop, more using popular dance moves and the new songs that come out. But I would like to incorporate like those styles that I see that are a little bit older. They've been around for a long time. And so there's quite a few people who just specialize in those that I'd like to learn from. But hopefully in the future that'll happen to make me another trip up to New York. Yeah.
Wow, I'm still like all shocked with everything she's saying right now. I swear to God, I thought that she would be like, yeah, I've been dancing for a long time.
Oh,
like,
no.
And then, wow. Oh, wait, what? Like, seriously, on your videos that I saw, I was like, she does it so well. Like, what?
Thank you.
Because, I don't know, maybe also as a Mexican, you have other kind of rhythms, the cumbias, those kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So for me, also hip hop is like the thing. Like, that's my thing.
Yeah.
But also, for example, for me, I love to watch ballet.
Yeah.
But I think I can't. It's too, I don't know how to say, but I think those dancers are like so special because they can transmit that feeling of the stage of being holding and be lifted. I was like,
yeah.
That one that I think I will.
There's some great athletes. Ballet is very hard. It is very hard. It's very difficult. It's very technical, which is why people are really good, have been dancing since they were like 5.
Yeah.
Since they were literally like old enough to walk, and they've been doing ballet. But I think like it doesn't matter how old you are. You can dive into any dance style at any age, as long as you have like a good place to go. That's gonna teach you like the fundamentals and the foundations of it. Yeah, that's really important. Yeah. But I also really like ballet. I don't think I'm ever gonna do myself. I don't think I'm ever gonna be great at it, but I would like to, take like the basics and learn at least a little bit of what all these other people around me know, because they've been doing it for forever. But there's also a lot of hip hop moves and like techniques that come from ballet and jazz. The names of stuff, how you move, that kind of stuff. It's just not as technical as ballet.
That's true. So, which are your choreographers that you're like him?
That's the one. Ooh.
That's the one that you.
We talking like Korean choreographers or just?
It can be Korean or international.
Okay,
States,
let's say I'll do Korean one, and then I'll do like just in general. Okay, so I think. This is so hard. Oh my gosh, there's so many.
Yeah, I know.
And they all have like slightly different styles. I think everyone's like, I liked her way before this, but Bada Lee is like, I know everybody.
She is the queen.
Everyone loves her.
There's no question here.
I know, and everyone loves her so much right now, so my answer is going to feel like such a basic answer. But I have probably been like keeping up with her since before I started dancing. So probably since like 2019, I've like, when I was like getting into like K-pop choreography and stuff.
Culture,
So that's like when I figured out like, oh, who is choreographing for these K-pop groups, or who's dancing in these music videos and stuff. And her style was something that I like wanted to do. Yeah. Like it spoke to me when I was seeing like her videos on Instagram and stuff. Even before all this street woman fighter stuff and
before
her
all
being
the thing
like
coming,
before her being like literally a celebrity, like can't even go anywhere.
She's totally a celebrity.
Yeah, but I've like always really, really liked her style. Even now, like I still love her.
There's no words.
Everything that she does, I like, which is how I can decide who my favorite choreographers are. Whatever they post, whatever song, doesn't matter. Like everything she does, I'm like, oh my god, it's great, it's awesome. I think maybe international though. Oh my god, that's hard. There's thousands of them. Like there's so many, and I follow so many.
She's like, oh my god.
Oh, maybe her name's Natalie Bebko. She's based in the U.S.
Okay.
She lives in L.A., but she does do a lot of international work. But she's one of the choreographers that still dances. Like, she probably dances more than she choreographs, but she teaches a lot of classes, and she's, like, on faculty for a lot of the big dance conventions and stuff.
Okay.
One, I was a part of Chaos. It's a big U.S. dance convention. They do stops in all the major cities, and then at the end of the season, they'll do like a big show and weekend intensive in LA.
Okay.
And so I did that in 2022, and she was on the faculty there. And I've always really liked her, but that was the first time that I was able to like take in person like a real class from her and see like her choreography and see her dancing and stuff. And I was like, yep, she's my favorite. Like she was almost my favorite, and then I did that and I was like, oh, it's that she's my favorite from now on. But she's also really young, and I feel like
how old is she?
I think she's like 24. 25,
oh, wow, okay.
So we're similar in age, and she's also dancing and choreographing for a lot of like big stuff. Like she does like the Super Bowl and be like the Victoria's Secret fashion shows.
Oh
and
my God.
The Fenty, Rihanna shows and stuff. So she does like a lot of big things. And
so
I
her
feel
style,
like
what is it?
it's kind of very hip hop-y. Sometimes she'll get into like some R&B stuff, but she reminds me of like the American version of Bodily. Like if you had an equivalent in kind of like style and age and like what they do, they're kind of like the counterparts in my mind, at least when I watch them. So like makes sense that they're both my favorites. But yeah, I think I relate to them in style. And also, like, the whole, they still dance and teach at the same time. Yeah.
Now, also very controversial, which artist, Korean and also international, will be like, I want to dance with them?
There's so many. People ask me this all the time, too.
Let's ask one that I think, one that is not alive, will be... There's one that you said, oh, I will had that dream with that artist.
Are you asking if I had one?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Not anybody who's not still here. I also am not very picky when it comes to things like that. Because people will always ask me like, oh, do you want to do like a group or a solo artist? Or do you want to do guys, girls? What kind of music do they make? And I never have an answer for them. I'm always just like, dancing is dancing at the end of the day. And I like all kinds of music. It doesn't even have to be hip hop for me to want to dance for a certain person or not. I would say I do have a Korean artist. It might actually be doable in the near future, I hope. Fingers crossed.
Yes.
But like Jay Park.
Oh.
Only because my director from Home used to be his choreographer a long time ago. Yeah. His name's Andrew Batterina. He started So Real dance crew. They were on America's Best Dance Crew. They got second place, started the studio. And from then, he was Jay Park's choreographer for like a good amount of time. Like music videos, shows, the whole thing. He was dancing in the music videos with him. This was like right after he left like 2 p.m. and became like solo artist. That was like the time when he was like working with him.
Oh my God, just remember, he was with 2 p.m. I was like,
yeah, way back then. But after he left and became his own man, that's when my director from Home was like working a lot with him. And I'm always playing his music at home, and my director will be like, oh my God, I've heard this so much in my life. And I'm like, well, I love it. I love it. So you're gonna hear more of it. So I kind of want to not continue the legacy, but it would be cool if I could work with an artist that my director has worked with before in the past. I also know Jay Park uses foreign dancers in a lot of his stuff. So like, if you're watching, keep us in mind.
We're gonna put the
yeah. So I think that would be fun to do, at least for a Korean artist. American artists, I wouldn't care. It could be anybody.
Seriously?
I don't have very many preferences when it comes to
American artists.
Yeah, it's not that they're all the same, but it's kind of just like dancing is dancing over
No, that's
there.
true.
And I would be happy to work with any artist over there because I love a lot of them, and I love so many different kinds of jobs you could book, whether it's a music video or a show or a tour or an award show, like whatever it could be, like it doesn't even matter to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now you know she has a preference here with J Park.
Yeah.
But also, I also knew that J Park had like all the foreign dancers here.
Yeah, which I also really appreciate. So
You're like,
I think it'd be
yes.
feasible for me if he's an option.
Okay, now for you, who's the epic video dancing?
Which video?
Yeah.
You're asking me so many hard questions.
I know.
Okay, fun fact about me. I really like Korean music, but I'm not like a big stan of anybody in particular. Like I just kind of I like at least one thing from every group or artist. Yeah, that I've guys, girls, doesn't really matter. But the one group I would just lay down my life for is Monsta X. Don't know why, don't ask me. I just I don't know. I think whenever they came out with their like all English album, I was sold. And then I just listened to everything they'd ever made from before that point. And I was like, how come I've never heard of them before? And I'm like, oh yeah, everyone's in America is on like BTS and NCT and 70. Like, yeah. But that's all anyone ever talks about. So that no one was ever talking about Monsta X. And I was like, oh, but now I have the freedom to research on my own.
Yeah.
So they became my favorite. And I think my favorite song, it's not even because of the song, it's because of the dance. And I don't know why I like this dance so much. It's kind of corny. But Alligator by Monsta X is like my favorite. It's so good. It's my favorite dance from them. But I think just in general, if I had to pick a dance video or music video to watch like for the rest of my life, it'd be that one. Don't know why. I know the whole. Not because you're gonna make me dance if I say I know the whole thing. I know some of it. But every time it comes on my playlist, I will never skip it. I will listen to it forever and watch the video.
Alligator Monsta X.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so corny because they do a lot of like this like alligator like imagery, and it's actually not that cool, but I just love it so much. But yeah, and I'm just like I just love it so much. Okay. So yeah, that's my favorite.
I don't know that one, but I'm gonna
listen to it, watch it, please. It's so good. It's so good.
And from the States, no one.
See, we don't really dance that much over there. Like now they do. I think it's become more of a thing, like because of TikTok and like pop culture nowadays. There are more artists that do
the challenge too.
Yeah,
also.
To like promote their music and stuff, they will do more dancing. But I think right now my favorite is probably Victoria Monet on My Mama. It's just so great. It's just the whole mix, and she's actually dancing in the entire music video, which is like kind of unheard of for American artists. Usually they will have dancers, but they themselves are not dancing. They're dancing in the entire music video. So like, it's really good. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
I haven't seen it too.
They're dancing on like the back of cars and in the and they do like this like whole jacket choreography where they take off the jacket while it's so clean. Like it's so good. I love it.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite, and it's more recent too. Like that's like been in like the last like year or so. So like yeah, as of right now, that's my favorite.
And when you came here to Seoul, what was the first thing that you get like, oh wow, like this is real, like that impact you in a way?
So many things. Okay, I'll name a couple. First, in Texas, we don't have subways or things like that. We have buses, but they only run in the city, and I live on the outskirts of the city, so I drive everywhere. So coming here, having to figure out public transportation, I was like, oh my God. Like, I feel like I'm in on a different planet. Like, this made no sense to me at first. It makes perfect sense now. It's super easy. It's super affordable. So, like, but when I first got here, I was like, oh my God, I'm literally not going to be able to get anywhere because I don't know how anything works.
I'm going to get lost
So,
here.
yeah, so there was that. There's, everyone is always so put together, like, how they look.
Oh, yeah.
They're always walking outside with like a full outfit. Your hair looks nice, makeup on. At home, you maybe a couple people look like that, but most of the time it's like everyone goes out in their sweatpants and their pajamas and like you look a little busted. Yeah.
Oh my
like,
God, I want to say no way, no.
Nah, it's definitely like that everywhere, especially if you're just like going to like the store or like shopping. Like, people do not dress up for things like that. You'd have to be going to like a nice dinner or like an event or something to like look as put together as people do, like just going to regular places. So like walking around looking at that, and then I'm looking at like what I have on, which is why I look like this today, because if I wore what I would probably wear at home, and people would be like, why does she have that on?
She's homeless or what?
Yeah. When I'm like, I promise I'm not. Like, I promise I am a put together individual, even if I don't look like it. So when I'm going to like dance classes and stuff and have on my dance clothes, I feel like a bum, like a homeless person.
You're like, okay, I need more.
And I'm like, I just want to tell people like, I'm going to dance class. I'm going to dance class. Like, I
Like,
promise
here.
I don't look like this all the time. So that was the thing.
Okay.
And then I think just like how cheap everything is here compared to where I live. Oh, when you live in a big city, in a big state, so like in California, if you live in a big city, Texas, if you live in a big city, Florida, if you live in a big city, everything's expensive for no reason. And the quality isn't as good. So like I will pay less here in Korea for something that's like super good quality. It's great. It's really good food, or it's a good quality shirt, or like, I don't know, it's just made well. I would spend probably twice as much in America for something that's not as good.
Oh, you're talking about clothes, right?
Clothes, food.
What?
Yeah, the whole thing. Everything. Everything. I swear. At least in Houston, like Houston, Dallas, Austin, and in Texas, San Antonio, like those are our big cities. Stuff is expensive for no reason, and I don't understand. I really don't, because I come here and I'm like, I will like do the conversion, like how much in US dollars I'm spending, and it'll be like I buy like 10 things from the convenience store. It's like,
well, yeah, that's true.
It's like 17 US dollars. I went to the convenience store at home and bought those exact things. It'd be like $30. It'd be like ridiculous. And there's not even as good. And I'm like, this is crazy. So those were the three things. And I was like, this is not a real place. Like, I don't know where I just came from.
Wow. This is the first time that somebody tells me that it's cheap.
They're saying it's expensive here?
For us, I think for many Latin
Okay, that makes sense.
countries, it's kind of expensive.
Hmm.
But for example, fruit is way too expensive.
Oh, yeah. Stuff like that, yeah,
It's
I
like,
will give you, yeah.
because in Mexico, like a kilo, it can be like, I don't know, $5, $8 at the most. And it's a kilo.
Yeah.
It's measurements is not the same. I just remember.
A kilo is like, it's like 2.2 pounds or something.
Something
like that. Something like that. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, centimeters, yeah, all of that stuff. I have no idea.
Inches, feet.
I'll ask so many people because they'll always do like the measurements and stuff in centimeters, and I'm like, how many inches is that? And they'll be like, what's like? It's so funny. Like, so neither one of us, you know how big this is, but
My American friends are also like, kilos. They're like, what? I'm like,
yeah. You
in United Kingdom, I'm like,
pound. Oh yeah, they do that over there. See,
I'm like, I cannot deal with you.
but yeah. I'm getting used to it. They'll say kilograms, kilometers, centimeters, meters. Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get it.
Food. What about food?
Oh, I love Korean food. Korean is my favorite cuisine. So even when I'm at home, I will search for like the little mom and pop Korean places because I know that they're gonna have actual Korean people making the food.
Okay.
Our ingredients are a little bit different, so it does taste different here, and it's way better here. But I try to get it at home because I love it so much. But I think my favorite things to eat when it's cold outside, it's very basic, kimchi jjigae.
Of course.
I also like the fusion, like Korean Chinese fusion. I like 탕수육.
Oh, okay.
So I really like that. Don't know why. I think the first time that I came here, it was like the first or second meal that I ate, and I just was like, I'm gonna live here forever. Like, this is so good. Like, I just love this so much. I like jjajangmyeon. And then I actually like katsu here versus in Japan.
Okay.
I like it better. I don't know why. I think it's because, I don't know, when you use different ingredients from different countries, it tastes a little bit different.
Yeah.
Even though it's the same exact food. I like it here better for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah. So those
the
are like
spicy, it's good with you.
I love spicy stuff.
Well, sorry. Yeah, I know. I've said it too many times. I'm half Mexican because I cannot deal with spicy.
Oh, really? So how do you eat here? It's like 7 out of 10 things are spicy.
I know. It's like so crazy.
It's either spicy or sweet.
So sweet. For me, it's too sweet.
Really?
It's
I
too
like sweet stuff. See, that's why
I like
it's great
sweet,
for me here.
but for example, I don't know if you have tasted Mexican chips.
Not really.
Like Cheetos and Doritos, Lay's.
Oh.
Those kind of chips.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
The taste-
Like snack food here is too sweet.
I'm Mexican right now and I'm like,
Yeah, you want it to be a little bit, because in America, our chips and stuff aren't sweet. They're salty.
they're also the flaming hot Cheetos. I mean,
so good. Yeah, whenever I come, I'll like bring a few like snacks from home. If I'm gonna be here for a while, I'll bring like a couple of them and I'll like slowly eat them because I'm like, I just need like
a little bit of
I
spiciness.
just need that like salty, spicy chip because I can't do the sweet. It'll even try and say like it's like spicy chips or like cheese flavored. I'm like, nah. This is just sugar on chips.
Doritos?
No. And Cheetos, nah. No. Before you come to Korea, PSA.
Yeah.
There's like some things that people do not talk about before you come to this. They'll talk about all the really cool things, all the great things. They'll be like, oh yeah, like clothes are cheaper, public transportation is safer and cleaner. True. They'll be like, oh, like you can travel like to all these like islands and stuff, and all that stuff great. But they awesome, don't tell you, oh, all of the snacks taste nothing like what you're used to at home. They're all going to be sweet. You need to be able to eat spicy or sweet food if you want to go anywhere. You need to have a Korean phone number or international service.
Yeah.
Just random things like that you kind of want to know and no one ever talks about them. I feel like I need to I've been here so many times. And I learn something new every time. I feel like I need to make a video of like all the things I've learned every time
since I come here. Yeah, every time I learn something new.
It's something else that I'm like, really? Like I have to do, like it's crazy every single time.
Right now that we were talking about food, I was like, yeah, some Doritos. Oh yeah, but
yeah. Now I'm like, away. Now I'm like, wow, I want some now. Now I won't be able to get them until I go
for food. Yeah. Okay, now movies, K-dramas. Do you like watching them or you prefer the typical romantic comedy Hollywood thing?
I think I used to watch more. Okay, so I'm a YouTube person.
Okay.
First and foremost. So I do watch a lot of Korean like YouTube channels or like, you know how they always do like the videos of like strangers meeting each other, like based on like their outfits or like you see like some part of them.
Something,
yeah. And they talk to each other and then decide if they like each other at the end. I love those. Watch so many of those. But I think I watch a few K-dramas I have a favorite, and I have one that I've watched multiple times. But other than that, I haven't really watched that many. My favorite one is called the K1. It's kind of older. Not old, but it's like, it's not recent. And I feel like more people have been watching K-dramas in the last few years. And this came out like in like the 2010s, I think.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's I don't know why I like it so much. It was the first one I ever watched too.
Plus, I think the old ones are more dramatic. Intense.
What's his name? Yeah. I really like the actor that's in it. That's why. Ji Chang-wook. That's who's in it, and that's why I liked it so much.
That's a long time.
Because he don't really be doing that much stuff like that now. But this was like in his when he was
like first starting, right? I think
when he was like, I think his best looking was during this yeah. So I was like, oh, love it. So that's my favorite. But I think the one that I watched the most is more recent, Crash Landing on You.
I haven't seen it.
So that's the one about she's like really rich, owns her own business, and she ends up in North Korea.
Yeah.
And then they actually got married in real life.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's why I watched it the first time. Oh my God, I love talking about this show. I watched it the first time, and they hadn't gotten married yet. I think no one even knew that they were like actually together in real life. Yeah. They hadn't like come out with that yet when the show first came out. And then like a couple months later, it was like, oh yeah, they're dating. And a couple months after that, I was like, oh yeah, they got married like in real life. And so they were showing like the pictures from the show and like pictures of them in real life. So then I watched the show again to be like, maybe I can tell the exact moment that they fell in love. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna do a series. Like, oh my God,
you gotta compare this.
And I'm like, oh my God. Now I was watching it like I was watching it in real life. Like, this is actually what happened to them, and this is how they fell in love and got married. Because that's what happened in the show.
Like, this is the scene.
So I was like, oh my God, I don't think I've ever watched something where the main characters
really get in love.
Yeah, in real life. And I thought that was so crazy. So I've watched it probably like 3 times. Just to see if I could be like, oh my God, they probably, when the scene cut, they were probably like, oh, like, they were probably having the time of their life.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's, it's not my favorite because K1, nothing will ever beat that in my mind for some reason. But that's like, I love it.
I haven't seen that one.
Watch it. Yeah, it's so good. And it's on Netflix. Yeah. It's so easy to watch.
We're sponsoring here Netflix?
Yeah, we're not, yeah. But go watch it because it's so good. Because we support those actors. And I like both of them too.
But now I'm gonna see I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna be
Yeah, like
it's gonna be weird.
I think it makes the watching experience just that much better because you're like, oh my God, they actually really
were liking each other.
They really did.
Maybe in the first chapter they were like
yeah, because I think they said, I was reading something where it was like, oh yeah, they like started dating after they met on the show. And I was like, oh my God, they did just make a show about them filming this show and falling in love in real life. That would be great. I'd watch it.
Netflix, if you're listening to this,
yes,
it could be a good story about
great ideas. If they're not busy, go talk to them. Yeah, I actually don't watch that much TV or even in American TV and stuff. I go watch movies like in the movie theater. Yeah. But I don't really watch like outside of that. Anime though, I do a lot of. Okay. I do a lot of that, but it's mostly YouTube videos for
anime.
Me.
What kind of?
So many kinds.
I have to say first, I don't watch a lot.
Okay.
So if you tell me your names, I'll be like,
okay. The big 3 I like. That's Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece. Naruto.
How do you say it in English?
Naruto.
Okay.
Naruto. Yeah. Bleach and One Piece.
Okay. I've heard One Piece and Naruto.
Everyone knows One Piece because there's over 1,000 episodes and they're still not done. I don't watch it like that. I've seen enough. They still haven't found the One Piece, so I'm like, oh, I gave up. I can't watch this anymore. The other ones I've finished. I've watched the whole thing.
Okay.
So those 2. There's Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay.
There's Kaiju number 8. There's Demon Slayer. Okay. There's Haikyuu. Then they have like these cute ones like the shoujo, like they've got a lot of those. Watch those sometimes. But I'm more into like the It's called shonen, like the male main character has superpowers and fights evil.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's mostly those that I like to watch. They're very
I'm
interesting.
gonna try to put all the pictures here because
Yeah.
I'm like,
Bleach is my favorite, so make that one bigger.
okay.
Yeah, that one's bigger. But yeah, I do watch a lot of anime. Watched it for a long time. So that's like the only thing I will like get on streaming platforms and watch. But
So do you
for
talk
me.
Japanese or not?
I can understand like very, very basics like yes, no, hi, bye.
Hi night, something like that.
Hi, yeah.
Yeah.
Like those, like, when they come home and when they leave, hello, what, like stuff like that. Oh, thank you. Are you okay?
Okay.
Things like that.
Okay.
I can understand.
Wow.
Because they say that in every anime. It's all they say those same words in every anime, just different ways. But then when they start like talking fast, even in Korean, and I know way more Korean than Japanese.
What is
when
your
people
level
start-
in Korean?
People expect me to be like, oh, she's fluent because she studied it in school. No, that's not. School didn't teach me anything. I learned way more when I actually come here and like just learn from like, because I can understand more than I can speak. I can talk like if I start the conversation, I can probably speak to you. But if you start it and I have no idea what you're talking about, oh, you've lost to me. And then I do the whole like Korean English thing. So like if I don't know the word or how to say it in Korean, I'll say it in regular English and then go back to Korean, and I think that's very confusing because I'll lose the accent.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden it'll be like I won't know the word for something and I'll be like, "Oh, pineapple on pizza? 너무 싫어." Like, and they'll be like, "Pizza? Like what is?" And then pizza, like the accent. They don't understand.
Yeah.
And I say pineapple, and they're like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Okay." So sometimes, yeah. So like sometimes it works. Sometimes I just have to respond in English, and I'm like, "I know what you're saying to me. I just don't know how to answer in Korean." So there's a lot of that. I know how to like order food and stuff. Like,
yeah,
doesn't
the basic
hinder me.
thing, I think.
Yeah. Introduce myself and like, I can say certain things, but when people are like trying to have like deep conversations or like detailed conversations, no. I'm like, only English for me, please. I'm sorry.
Too much words.
Yeah. But it's way better than. I don't know any other language, so like I know way more Korean than anything else other than English.
Okay, so when you do your classes here, do you do them in English or?
So I explain in English. 근데 I can say like from the top, from here. Oh, but don't do this. Are you okay? You understand? Like I can do those things in Korean.
Oh, okay.
So I'll teach, and it'll be because counts are all the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They know that. Everybody knows that. So then it's just about when I'm explaining stuff, I'll be like, blah 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 blah. 근데 yada. when 어른 밥. Stuff like that. And I'd be like, okay, 다시 한 번 더 전부터 and 5, 6, 7. They'll get that. And I only know that from taking so many dance classes that I had to learn what those things meant because they don't teach you that stuff in my Korean class. They're like, why I gotta teach you stuff that they would teach you in dance class? Like, I don't know.
Of course.
Like I knew right and left, but the way they say it in relation to dance moves is a little bit different.
It's different, yeah.
And then saying from the beginning or from here or do it again one more time. 천천히. 처음부터 빠르게. So like stuff like that I had to learn, and I heard it so many times that it's now ingrained up here to like, oh, this is slow, this is fast, this is from here, this is from the top, this is do it again, this is are you okay, this is you understand. But sometimes I'll just say stuff in English and they know, like I'll be like, are you okay? And they'll be like, nah.
Wow,
Yeah.
I totally admire you because I think also
teaching in another language.
Oh, it's nerve-wracking every time I have to do it. I know that I'm gonna explain stuff in English, but I always have the fear that they're not gonna understand, and so to even ask them, "Do you understand?" I'm gonna have to say it in Korean. Or if I want them to do things a certain way, like I want you to do it slow this time. They don't know what slow or like slow tempo is. I have to learn the word for slowly do this kind of thing. So like I've gotten better at it. I also, when I take class now, like
you try to listen what you're saying.
And I'm a lot quicker on picking up what they're trying to say now, like when they're explaining stuff. So like I use those experiences, which is why I still like taking class here, because I can learn better how to teach in Korean. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I admire you right now. I'm like totally admiring you. We now are on the last part of the show.
Okay.
Of the episode. And this activity that I have is called What Do You Prefer?
Okay.
Imagine that tomorrow is your last day, or it will be the last thing that you have to do, live, eat.
Okay.
So, are you ready?
I think so.
So, it will tell you, where would you like to live? United States or South Korea?
That changes on a given day. So today, I would say South Korea. Only because I think when I'm here, my experiences like come a little bit easier because I'm like an anomaly. You know what that is? Like something that's not normal. So because I'm different, I stand out. So in my line of work, that is a good thing. In some people's line of work, it's not a good thing to stand out in whatever way that is. But for me, in the dance community in the United States, I don't stand out as much in terms of what I look like. Maybe my dancing does, but there's a lot of people that look similar to me. But here, that is not the case. That is the complete opposite. I look different from pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
And so when you add on top of that, like, the teaching experience and how much, like, my dancing has grown, now I'm, like, in a position where I can choose my own path here. And at home is a lot bigger competition because I am going against a lot of people who came up the same way that I did or in my area, and we are very similar in terms of, this is a tan-skinned girl who's 5'7" and is from the South. Like, there's a lot of us that look like that. So it's a little bit easier in terms of entertainment here, which is why I would say I do want to go that route, which is why I would want to be here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you know it.
Yeah.
Okay, so American food or Korean food?
Korean food. Get that American stuff out of here, man. It's too fatty. It's really not that great everywhere. Like, most of the time, you eat better food when you cook it yourself.
True.
And so if I really wanted to have American food, I would just make it. But I like Korean seasoning more.
Okay.
Because America is such a melting pot for culture and food and stuff. You never really know what you're going to get when you go to a restaurant, unless you know exactly where that food came from. Like, if it's Cajun or it's Mexican food or if it's Italian, but it's not going to taste like where it actually came from unless you eat it there. And I'm like, I live in Houston, which is, our food is better than most places because there's so many people that live there. But Korean food is always good. Like, I don't think I've had anything anytime I've ever come here that I didn't like.
Also the octopus that moved?
I've had that. It doesn't bother me. I like that kind of seafood. I don't like fish, but I like seafood, like squid and octopus, crab, that kind of stuff.
Okay, so you like kind of the, how you say, I forgot the name in English. No es extrovertido.
We call it shellfish. That's like shrimp and crab and stuff. but I don't know I know what you're talking about. Not fish, but these other
you like
animals
like
that live in the ocean.
Yeah, but I don't know what's the name
Those
for it.
other,
Okay, okay.
I like that, which they do a lot of here, different ways. So like, I would pick Korean food.
Korean food or Mexican food?
Korean food. I'm so sorry. Even I live in Texas, and I'm probably one of the only people that I know that I don't eat Mexican food that much. I eat like tacos, like taco truck tacos, not from a restaurant, regular, like where they only put the onions and the cilantro and stuff. That's the only tacos I'll eat. And then I like nachos, like literally just chips with cheese on it. Yes. But other than that, I don't even like barbecue, and I'm from Texas. Yeah, I'm like not a real Texan.
I just felt that over here.
Yeah. And some people there's like a Texas barbecue restaurant here in like Itaewon, and everyone's like, you need to go try it and see if it's like as good as it tastes. I'm like, I don't even like it in Texas, so I don't think y'all want me to try this and tell you.
Wow, I feel like I'm not even from the States, but I feel offended.
Yeah, I'm sure anybody from the United States who lives in the South will feel offended. It's fine. Let me like what I like, okay? I don't have to eat everything. But yeah, Korean food is probably going to win out over anything else.
American cosmetic beauty or Korean?
American, because it's more skin inclusive.
True.
So, okay, fun fact about me. I told you I was a biochem major.
Yeah.
I'm getting my master's in chemistry right now online. My dream goal that has nothing to do with dance is I want to work in research and development for cosmetics companies, but I want to work with Korean cosmetics companies that are headquartered in the U.S.
Okay.
to bring like that inclusivity to them.
Yeah.
So they've gotten a little bit better at it. They have more tan shades, but they don't have as many.
Yeah. True.
Wide variety of shades. Like let's say like Fenty has. They started the whole like they have like 40 shades of foundation and concealer and stuff, and that's how their company shot up so fast was because so many people can buy from them. And Korean beauty has figured out how to keep you looking young for a long time, how to cover up blemishes and stuff that the U.S. hasn't figured out totally yet, which I kind of want to like bridge the gap between, like, I know there's people working on it now, but I want to like join those teams of people.
Yeah, of course.
Of figuring out that research and development to bring to Korean beauty, and then vice versa, bringing that anti-aging element that K-beauty has to U.S. cosmetics. Yeah. So if I'm not a dancer for my whole life, that's what I want to do.
Don't worry. You know where she's going to be.
Yeah. So that's
maybe she's the first one. We don't know.
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah, but that's why I studied Korean in school, because after the United States and Europe, Korea is the next
skincare.
Yeah, so by knowing another language, that's the one that makes sense for me to study after English, since I already know that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Yes.
Crossed, so that happen. That dream, that goal can happen.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
Next one. Will you rather dance with Chris Brown or Jason Derulo?
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown?
Because I like way more Chris Brown music than Jason Derulo. Okay, Jason Derulo, I don't know. No offense, but he's a little corny. Like, he's a little, we call it a cornball. Like, people who are like a little lame, like, not lame, like, oh no! No, not lame like he's uncool, but lame like he's a little cringy. Like, some of the stuff that he does, like, people will say, you know how he does the whole like Jason Derulo, like in his songs?
Yeah, true.
He has like his little tagline. People like make fun of it, like, because of how he says it.
I didn't know that.
That happens all the time. Like, anytime a Jason Derulo song or he is brought up,
you did it the same. Like, Jason Derulo.
Yeah, it's like that's like a thing. And so I'm like, I like Jason Derulo. He can dance, he can sing. He's great. I know people who have danced with him before. But I think I would probably want to dance with Chris Brown based on the music. Like, I would pick Chris Brown music to listen to, like, over and over and over again than Jason Derulo. And you would have to do that if you, like, dance for them. You'd be listening to that literally all the time. So, yeah. But, yeah, he's a little bit of a cornball. It's great, though. It's fun.
Yeah.
We still love him.
Okay. Yeah, we love him. We love him.
Him and Chris Brown are great.
Stray Kids or Monsta?
Monsta X. Ask me anybody else. Ask me Monsta X versus anybody else. It will always be. I had like a time where I was really into ATs. At a time I was really into BTS. At a time when I was into P1 Harmony, DKB, In Height, like all of them. And no one has ever pushed them out of the top. Like, could be even J Park could go bye-bye for Monsta X for me. Yeah.
Wow.
They're just like, I don't know. They have a hold on me. I don't know why.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. The only like my first like K-pop albums that I ever got, I always said I would never buy one because I just didn't understand the whole like people buy all 4 versions of the same thing just to get the photo cards, and I was like, I don't really care about that except for Monsta X. I would buy all of them.
That one.
Yeah, that one.
Wow. J Park or Chris Brown?
J Park. I don't. Okay, it's so weird. It's because like J Park's okay. They make music that is similar. Like they're the American Korean versions of the same kind of thing, which is like they're the pretty boy. They sing and rap.
Sure.
They both dance. They both. All the ladies love them. So I don't know why it's like. I don't know. I've just always liked him. This is like before I even liked like super into Korean culture. I liked J Park. Yeah, because he sang in English too.
That's true.
He spoke English. He lived in like he was like we know him. Like he's great. And I was like, oh, and he's Korean. That's cool. Like there's just I've just always liked him. Every time one of his songs comes on, I'm like, oh, J Park.
Like J Park. Yeah, me too. I'm like, when I saw him the first time, I was like, oh my god. Because before that, I was like...
You've seen him?
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god, I wish.
The college festival.
Yeah, everyone always assumes that I've seen a lot of people because I dance and I go to class. And I'm like, I have not met anybody here that's famous. Choreographers, I guess, if you consider them like famous.
Famous. Yeah.
Okay, I don't consider that. Doesn't count to me. Like they're just normal people, y'all. Like they're just
that's true.
Bodily different, but everybody else.
Yeah, no, but bodily just became. She's not just a dancer now.
She needs security to go outside. Like, that's different.
A celebrity now. Like.
Yeah. But all the other ones,
they're still dancers.
They're just regular people. They're just absolutely regular people.
Okay, English or Korean?
So are we talking about me speaking it or?
Yeah, imagine that in scenario, that universe, multi-universe, you can speak it like so well.
I can only speak one?
Yeah.
English. Because I think, okay, let's say this. I think if I knew Korean and I went somewhere else in the world, not the United States, I would get by. It would be way harder for me to like live with only knowing Korean. But if I know English, even if I don't go to like the UK or Canada or US and I just went somewhere random where they still speak another language, people there will speak English. That's true. Like I feel like I would have an easier. I would have, or the signs will be in both languages and it'll be that language and English.
That's
so at least I will be able to like live life like kind of okay like with English. But if I only lived here, yes, Korean, because then I would be able to talk to everybody.
That's true.
Yeah, and not have any confusion like I do every day.
Oh my god. Okay, style, dance style, jazz funk or hip hop?
Oh, I do love a jazz funk, but I'm gonna have to sit with hip hop.
Like
I love a jazz. I love a street jazz. I love jazz funk. I love everything about it. I love the performance aspect. I love the drama. I love the facial. Like I love all of it. But hip hop just makes me feel good. Like hearing the music. If I didn't dance it and just had to watch other people, I would rather watch people do hip hop dancing. Like I would be on my phone like, that is so cool. Like yeah, I'd do hip hop all day.
Well, that's it for the questions. Now I forgot for a moment. Sorry. Oh, my TDH was like, woo. What are your next events for next month, for next week? I think this is gonna be out by the end of October. So what are your next events? What are you expecting to do?
So, well, before I leave, I do have another class to teach. It's the collab class with this guy from New York. His name's James, and Espa's choreographer Renan. She's from Japan, but she teaches here.
Oh.
Teaching class at Just Jerk. Yeah. So might see that on Instagram. I will probably have posted it by then.
Wow.
And then when I go back home, I actually have quite a bit of things to do. It's gonna be my birthday when I go home in November, so I have that to celebrate. Going back to teaching all my regular classes. Some concept videos that will probably be out before the end of the year.
Yes.
There's lots of little. I post dance videos all the time because I teach class every week, so look out for that. Follow me on Instagram. It's great. We have a fun time there.
How can we find you? We're gonna put your social media here.
Can find me on Instagram is what I use mostly. I do have TikTok, but I don't really use it. But I'll give you both. Instagram is TAYLUUR_Williams_. That's not how I spell my name, but it's how I have to spell my name on social media because TAYLOR is taken in every corner of the world. And my TikTok is TAY_Williams. I have a lot of videos on there, but I don't post that much anymore. So Instagram is where you can find me. But yeah, that's usually where I post all the stuff that I'm going to do. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm going to do until that month. So which is why I'm like, oh yeah, just here and there, some stuff, you know. But yeah, thank you for having me. I had a grand time talking to you.
Thank you for, I forgot again. The word for trusting me. Sorry again, because my 3 languages is too much for me right now. So yeah, thank you for trusting me for open this. What is the message that you can tell the future dancers, the new generations that want to dance, maybe under 30s, maybe 10 years old? I don't know what could be that message. Also maybe for you.
Man, yeah, if I look back on this video, I would say, at least for me right now, what I've been telling all my students that I have normally is the whole, it's not about comparison, it's about inspiration. So if you're just starting to dance or you've been dancing for a long time or you're trying a new style, you're trying something new in life like I did when I got to college, it's really not about the people around you and what they're doing or how good they are or how long they've been doing this or who they know or what work they've done. Don't compare yourselves to them because we're all different people and our journeys are all different and they all have different timelines. Some people take longer to get to a certain place. Some people it happens way faster for them. But do take inspiration from the people around you. The people who are really good, you're like, wow, like I wish I could be like them. Wish you could do what they do as yourself. Don't wish to be like them because you are your own person and they can't do what you do and you can't do what they do and that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. So yes, comparison, inspiration, don't compare. Yeah. I know we like to do that. I still like to do that. You're on social media all day like, oh my God, they look so cool. I wish I could be like that. I wish I could get tens of thousands of likes on my post, but it's not about that. They're in a different part of their journey than you are, than I am, than we are. So don't let that hinder you from doing what you want to do. Yes.
That you're happy about to do.
Yeah, because if you want to dance because you love to dance and you like dance, not because you want to become the next bodily. Yes, it may happen, but it starts with loving what you do first.
True. That's true.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's it. Thank you Thank you again for being
Yeah,
here.
no problem. Thank you for having me.
And go check it out. If you're still here in South Korea, maybe, oh no, but when it comes out, no. But just check out her Instagram. And if you're in Houston, I have some friends from Houston that are there.
Yeah.
Go to your classes.
Yeah, come take my class, So Real Dance Studio, Wednesdays and Fridays. Cool.
Yes. Thank you again.
Yes, no problem.
Bye.